Hi, everyone. Thank you all for joining us today. I'm Elaine Christian with the City of West Palm Beach Office of Sustainability, and we are so excited to celebrate Arbor Day with you today. We have Michael Rittenhouse, who is a Sustainability Program Coordinator with the City of West Palm Beach Office of Sustainability with us today, and I can't wait to learn about the many benefits of trees. If you have any questions during the presentation, please drop them in the chat box and we'll have Q&A at the end. And keep in mind that if you like today's program, we have many more scheduled. You can always visit wpb.org/green to view our upcoming programs. And I will also be sending out a follow-up email after today's presentation, which will include the recording in case you'd like to share it or watch it again. And it will also include any important links or resources that are mentioned today. So now let's transition to Michael so we can learn more about trees.
All right, thank you. Hi, everyone. How are you today? I am Michael Rittenhouse. I am with the Office of Sustainability. I've been with the city for about 4 years, and I guess you could say that I am the tree man for our department. So first off, I'd like to give a shout out to our office. We are a very involved group of individuals, and there are a lot of different things that we do in the Office of Sustainability. There's a lot of different things or different words that are associated with what we do. There's sustainability, resilience, climate change, sea level rise, adaptation. But the one word that I do not see on this list that I think we really do a great job of is helping. We are here to help. We are here to help the residents. We're here to help the city staff and different departments. We're here to help other cities. We are a group of helpers. And we try to help the community and everyone in the city by working on commitments that the city has made to lots of different groups and other organizations, national and international, that our city is a part of. Our overarching commitment our overarching goal rather for our department is to move the city towards having net zero carbon emissions by the year 2050. And to move us towards that goal, we have a lot of different initiatives that we try to bring forth. But the one that I'm going to touch on today is our tree canopy program. So the question really is, why trees? Why bother working with trees in the community at all? Well, the answer to that is because they provide a lot of different benefits, and they really do provide us the greatest bang for our buck as far as investment. Trees give us a ton of different benefits. They give us things like oxygen and food. They help us slow our stormwater and erosion. They give us shade. They even improve our property value. And I'm going to talk about each of these things here in a little more detail. So oxygen. Plants are our main source of oxygen here on Earth. And of course, we need to breathe. And through photosynthesis, they take carbon dioxide, a greenhouse gas, and water, and with the help of some solar power, they convert it to sugar and oxygen, which of course we need to breathe. Trees are beneficial to our city, in particular because they absorb the greenhouse gas, CO2, and they sequester it, and they move us more towards our goal of net zero carbon emissions by 2050. So here's a fun fact for you. The Amazonian rainforests produce 32 gigatons of oxygen each year. That's roughly 12% of the world's oxygen levels. The Apollo 14 space missions carried tree seeds into space. These seeds sprouted back here on Earth, and they were planted here in Florida as moon trees. These trees were mostly sycamores and loblolly pine. And then, of course, here in Florida, the best trees to plant to sequester or reduce our greenhouse gases are live oak, mahogany, false mastic, wild tamarind, and the slash pine. All of these trees we give away as part of the city's 10,000 Trees in 10 Years tree giveaway program, which I will talk about here in a little bit. As I mentioned before, trees absorb water as part of their photosynthesis process. This can contribute to reducing stormwater runoff and erosion in our city. Why is this beneficial? Well, for several reasons. The presence of a tree helps intercept rainfall. It breaks it up and catches it in a sense, which slows the gully washer of inundation of the sudden presence of water from a very heavy storm. Reduced runoff means less stress on our stormwater and sanitary systems, which can save us on different resources that are needed to clean up the water. Less runoff also means less water on the roads and less possible pollutants being washed down the drains. And we know that all drains, of course, lead to the ocean. Less stormwater also means less erosion and sediment being flushed from our properties. Additionally, the presence of tree roots will help stabilize the ground and keep sediment locked in place. These roots also help to filter the water as it trickles down and recharges our aquifers, and any additional nutrients in the water that could be washed from our lawns, say with fertilizer, can be absorbed by the tree and it will not pollute our drinking water. So just how effective are trees at absorbing water? Well, one report by the city of Miami Beach rather, suggests that trees can absorb between 120 and 240 pounds of particulate pollution a year. They can also absorb 50 to 100 gallons of water during a storm. And a second report suggests that trees can reduce erosion of soil by 70%. So why not plant some trees in your yard, right? Another great benefit of trees is all the additional resources that we get from them. So much of the food that we eat and much of the building material that we have come from trees. So locally, let's think about things like mango and avocado and oranges. Of course, we know that apples come from trees, but there's also things like nuts, pecans, and cashews. We also get maple syrup from trees. Certain spices can come from trees as well. Cinnamon, vanilla, nutmeg, cloves, bay leaves, all come from trees. And then, of course, there's medicine as well. Willow bark can be used as an aspirin. The yew tree can give a chemical for chemotherapy, and birch can be used for stomach aches. Trees are also used for wood to help us build things. So raise your hand, who's never had a mahogany table or maple cabinets, right? Boats in the olden days used to be made of oak. Baseball bats have been made from ash. Pine and cedar are used for log homes. Oak, beech, ash, maple have all been used to build different types of furniture as well. All right, let's get a little shady here. Trees are really great at providing shade, and that comes with decreased temperatures. It's not unheard of for temperatures to be 10 degrees cooler in the shade of a tree, and some locations have even reported temperatures as low as 25 degrees cooler in the shade. Cooler temperatures can be translated to saving on your home AC costs. So landscaping with trees can also serve as a windbreak, thus keeping temperatures steady around your property and protecting it from a winter wind, if you have it, and of course the summer sun. Energy costs can be improved by 25% around your property if it is well landscaped. It's recommended that you plant trees in the south and the west sides of your home to increase the shading capacity. And generally, neighborhoods and landscaping, or neighborhoods rather with landscaping and trees in particular, are more walkable, bikeable, and more enjoyable to be in. So I would say that it's probably very safe to say that landscaping is worth your money. And speaking of worth the money, having trees around can actually increase your property value as well. So who says that money doesn't actually grow on trees, right? Nationally, street trees have an average value of $525. One researcher at the University of Washington estimates that trees can increase property value between 3 and 15%. In Portland, Oregon, they've estimated that the street trees alone contribute to a value of $1.1 billion in value for their city. The Arbor Day Foundation credits trees with stimulating the economy as well. In a recent blog, they said that trees attract new businesses as well as tourism. And they've said that commercial retail areas are more attractive to shoppers, apartments rent more quickly, tenants stay longer, and space in a wooded setting is more valuable to sell or rent. In addition to a healthy wallet or pocketbook, trees also contribute to our health. Besides clean, fresh air and improving water quality, the presence of trees can help reduce stress. A professor at Texas A&M University cited that just 5 minutes in a park or forested area can induce changes and the blood pressure or your muscle tension, so it helps you relax a little bit. Another study by a Harvard professor looked at over 100,000 individuals and found that trees and vegetation can lower death rates by at least 12% in the community. So while their results were not completely conclusive, it was believed that the trees produce lower instances of respiratory illnesses and cancer. Another study of 200,000 individuals looked at natural sleep patterns, and the results of this study support that trees and green space help induce sleep, as many individuals can show improvements in deep sleep brainwave activity. Overall, trees can help boost our immune systems as well. One article I read said that trees produce an airborne chemical called phytoncides. And so when we are in a forest, we breathe in these chemicals, and it's believed that they help our bodies produce white blood cells, which help keep us healthy. There have been several other studies that suggest that green space helps us recover that when we're in the hospital. So just the sight of this type of space helps patients have shorter post-operative hospital stays, helps them to take less painkillers, and there are fewer post-surgical complications compared to patients who stay in a room that face a brick wall or don't have windows at all. So with all the benefits that trees provide, why aren't we investing in them more? Well, here at the city, we are, and I'm going to touch on some of the projects that we have done. All right, we've been caring for our trees at the city for a very long time, but we haven't really had a way to educate staff in the community about how to care for the trees and exactly what we've been doing. In 2018 or early 2019, I'd say, our team, with the help of a grant and an ex-state senior forester, pulled together an urban tree management plan. The purpose of this plan was to outline best management practices and maintenance standards for the city to follow. The plan also went through and highlighted a lot of different aspects of our current tree program, including the value of trees and how we really should care for them. It also went through and made recommendations to improve the efficacy of our tree care program and enhance the health of our urban forest. Also around 2018 or 2019, we were able to complete a tree canopy assessment. So I'll say that I think this assessment was really useful because it produced a lot of different data for us. We produced, first off, a land cover classification. So we actually went through with these maps and we color coded or classified each individual pixel on the map as something as either plants or tree canopy, or the road, pavement, grass, water, something like that. So not only were we able to extract the tree canopy, we were able to classify the impervious surface area, water, and vegetation. And our analysis gave us all this information as a percent coverage. So here in the city, we've got an average percent coverage of between 30 and 40%. In addition to the land coverage, we were able to obtain a lot of other information, other types of data layers that were very informative and relative to the city. We called these things sustainability themes, and we were able to overlay and compare some of this other data to our tree canopy and make some conclusions or draw some relationships. So this map that you see here to the left took a look at tree canopy, but it also looked at our current tree canopy coverage. It looked at heat as well, and it looked at the ability to plant trees, possible planting space. And so these areas that are hashed on the map actually indicate areas with the greatest ability to plant trees, so greatest planting space that's available, the lowest tree canopy, and areas that show on the map that are particularly hot. And then again, over here on the right, we've got a map of the vulnerable populations and tree canopy, as well as planting space. And so the areas that are hashed would be the areas with the greatest vulnerable populations, so individuals over the age of 65 or under the age of 18, and it overlays the ability to plant trees and has low tree canopy. So these would be the areas that we may consider planting trees in our community. All the data that we obtained from these analyses is outwardly facing, as well as being shared internally among our city departments. Ideally, we would like to update these maps every 5 years to keep them current. And our main focus really is targeting areas that we should be planting trees in the future. We want to increase our tree canopy. We want to plant more trees in the community. You cannot manage what you do not measure. That's always what we've said here in our office. So as a complement to this tree canopy assessment, we have been and are continuing to work on our tree inventory. So while the canopy assessment tells us where the trees are in the community, the inventory tells us what trees are in the community and certain attributes of those trees. So we look at things like height, trunk girth, tree health. We've listed the species. We've taken pictures of each of these individual trees. And our goal really is to map all the trees in the city. This program that we use is particularly useful, I think, to our community because it is GIS compatible. So we can share it very easily, and it does overlay quite easily with all the data that we obtained from our tree canopy analysis. It's also very interactive, so it's very easy to click and explore all the information on this database. It's updated very quickly. It's updated live, so if you're on the website and you're looking at it, you can see us actually work while we're out there in the field, and it allows us to communicate a whole lot of information that we have. It gives us a ton of benefits. So this particular program can help us with storm recovery and getting FEMA money to replace the trees after we've had a hurricane. We can look at the diversity in the community. We can look at our mix of trees and make sure that we've got a different collection of trees throughout the community, that it's not all just one type of species. We can also look at maintenance and replacement and start planning for our needs in the future and kind of pick out the areas that we really know we need to concentrate on and work on here in the future. Okay, our office depends upon a lot of different departments to work with the trees in the community. It's not just the Office of Sustainability. There's a lot of different departments that help us care for the trees, but I want to give a special shout out here to our engineering department. In recent projects that they've been doing on Clematis Street, they've installed these box-like structures that we call suspended pavement systems. And these things kind of look like milk crates, but they handle the weight of the road and the sidewalk to reduce the compaction soil on tree roots. And any of the trees that we're planting in the downtown, they can kind of grow in a more natural and sustainable way. We don't really have to worry about the road or the soil around them being compacted, damaging the roots. It kind of lets the trees grow like they would in any natural area or park. So I want to give major kudos for our engineering department for taking this step and actually taking the initiative to plant trees, as well as put these suspended pavement systems in so that the trees can last a lot longer in the urban environment. Planning and studying the trees is not the only thing we've been doing here at the city. We are working very hard to plant trees as well. So I'd like to point out this project that we did a little while ago. We planted 10 live trees as a complement to the solar tree installation in Howard Park. If you haven't been by that park, it's absolutely beautiful, and it's even more beautiful now that we have some more live trees out there. The layout of the trees that we planted was strategically placed. We really wanted to complement the current design of the park. We also wanted to increase the shade in that particular park. We wanted it to shine as beautifully and brightly as we possibly could. We spent a lot of time picking specific trees for that particular park. We added some trees that were going to flower and give us a little bit of color, but most of all, we really wanted trees that were going to promote longevity. We wanted trees that were going to last a long time. We wanted trees that were going to give us the most shade as possible. So if you haven't been to Howard Park yet, go ahead and go out there, take a walk around. It's absolutely beautiful. The trail is 100 times more enjoyable to take a walk on now there are some more trees. Another one of our recent projects that we're working on is bringing tree canopy to the downtown and the northwest neighborhood. So in both of these areas, it had been noted, and there's been some comments that it is just really hot and there really isn't enough shade or canopy coverage. Plus, there's been a few auto accidents that have either killed the trees or some of the trees have just died on their own. So we've had to take a few trees out. So the city has gone ahead and set aside a little bit of money for tree replacement in the downtown as well as the Northwest neighborhood. We worked with a professional landscape architect to identify locations that we really needed the trees. We conducted irrigation assessments and we looked at the whole watering situation in the downtown as well as the Northwest. And we came up with a couple of plans and we're ready to move forward with planting some of the trees. This summer, we're anticipating to plant some trees there in the Northwest neighborhood. That's where we're going to get started on this particular project. Finally, as I had mentioned before, we have a tree giveaway program. This is our 10,000 trees in 10 years program. And currently we are about in our 6th year, wrapping up our 6th year, and we are over 6,000 trees. So our goal is to plant or give away 10,000 trees in 10 years. That's 1,000 trees a year. The trees that we give away are all Florida native or Florida friendly. They come in 3-gallon pots and their sizes differ by the species. So sometimes they're about 9 feet tall and very flexible. Sometimes they're only about 4 feet tall. If you haven't taken part in this program yet, I really invite you to go ahead and visit our website, wpb.org/10ktrees, and go ahead and sign up to receive some of your trees. We give away 4 free trees a year to each property in the city of West Palm Beach. Okay, so we've talked about so far the benefits of the trees and really what the city is doing to help trees or plant trees in our community, but there's also a lot that you as an individual can do. There's also a lot that the residents can do to help us on our mission. If you plant a tree, we really encourage you to practice the right plant in the right place principle. And this means taking a look and really thinking about the tree that you're planting and looking at the space that you have really to plant the tree. Is it going to grow very well in that space? Is it going to overgrow the space? Think about the utilities in the area, look above and below. Make sure you're not planting over any cable or power lines. Think about what the tree is going to need, the sunlight, the water. Think about the orientation to the sun. Is it going to grow well? Think about the soil composition. Think about some of the wildlife factors. Trees do tend to attract butterflies and bees and birds. Squirrels like to live in trees. Also, when you're picking your tree species, think about the messiness. Sometimes the trees drop their leaves, sometimes they grow flowers and drop the flowers. So if you don't really want to sweep your sidewalk or get rid of that type of mess, think about the type of tree that you're putting in. We also want you to care for the trees in the proper way as well. So this means mulching and fertilizing. This means pruning. It means staking the trees if they need it. We really encourage all residents to consult a professional arborist. An arborist is kind of like a doctor. It can help you care for your trees. So keep one of those on call just in case you're having some issues or you have some questions. And most of all, please, please, please don't kill your trees. This poster here over on the right kind of pokes fun at all the different things that you can do to kill your tree. And these are the things you don't want to do, as far as not maintaining it or mowing it in a bad way or nailing things into the tree, hanging things from the tree. And trees are living beings and they need some space too. They need to be cared for. So if you plant a tree, kind of treat it like a pet. Think about it. Take good care of it. As I wrap up the presentation here, I just want you to consider that the trees that you plant today may not give their full benefits until tomorrow. And that the trees that we are planting today really are a gift to the next generation. We can't fully enjoy all of the benefits that trees provide unless somebody has planted them in the past. So go ahead and plant some trees today for the future. Everyone, my name is Michael Rittenhouse. I do work here in the Office of Sustainability. These are a couple of my phone numbers. Feel free to reach out to me at any time, and I can also be contacted by email. If you have any questions, of course, I am here to help in all ways possible. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michael. And I have just a few of our programs that I'm going to share with you all really quickly. Here we go. All right, so As Michael mentioned, we do have our native tree giveaway, and our next giveaway is actually on May 22nd. So head on over to wpb.org/10K trees to fill out your tree application today. We also have rain barrel giveaways too. So if you're interested in planting a tree, maybe you can get a rain barrel to capture the rainwater that's falling on your roof that would normally be lost down into the storm drains. You can use that rainwater to water your new tree as well. So go to wpb.org/savewater to register for our next tree giveaway or our next rain barrel giveaway, which is on May 12th. So we give away one 55-gallon rain barrel per household to City of West Palm Beach water customers. We also have a really great program called the Climate Smart Floridians program coming up. It actually kicks off on May 8th. So it's just right around the corner. But if you are interested, go to wpb.org/climatesmart. This is an 8-module course. It takes place over the span of 8 weeks. So we meet once per week. And if you go to that webpage right there, you can see all of the module dates and times. It's a really great program to enhance your skill set in terms of climate change and sustainability, things you can do as an individual. And we do have a few spots left open. So please head over there today if you are interested. We also have a really fun city nature photo challenge going on right now until May 13th. It's on iNaturalist if you're familiar with that app or the webpage as well. You basically just go outside, and if you see a plant, if you see an animal, as long as it's a wild plant or animal, take a picture of it and upload it to our project, which is the WPB City Nature Photo Challenge. I'm also going to link that. If you're watching this video on YouTube, I'm going to link that in the description. And if you're receiving this information in an email, I'll also include that in the email as well. So we have that going on, and this is our information. Our webpage, our main webpage is wpb.org/green. As I mentioned in the beginning, we have a lot more programs going on. So check out our webpage. You can see all the other great programs we have. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can find us at WPB Green, and our email address is sustainability@wpb.org. Or you can email Michael or myself directly, and we will respond to any questions that you have. And with that, thank you, Michael, for joining us today, and hope everyone has a great rest of their Friday and has a great weekend.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Thank you. Happy Arbor Day.
Happy Arbor Day.